is In the Shadows Podcast. Lots of cigar talk, but if it's going on in the world, we'll be talking about that too. And by the way, the fellows don't shy away from controversial topics. Trust me. So grab that stick, kick back with your favorite drink, and let's do the thing. This is the In the Shadows Podcast. Now your hosts, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Shadow Smoke's Legion in the Shadow Podcast. I'm your host, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin, and today we have Sam, Papi Rick, Eric, and Martin and Maya joining us. Today we're gonna talk about something simple. Let's talk about what we talk about?
Tobacco.
What the hell?
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay, no. Okay, yeah. Yes, no. Yes, no. So, and we bring the microphone closer to me. Today we are gonna talk about what to watch out for when you buy cigars. What to watch out for when you go buy cigars. But we can start with everybody bring out some, what they watch out for when they buy cigars. Like we separate to two categories, right? One is online and the other one is in-store. What do you watch out for when you buy cigars? So let's start with Martin, because Martin could drop off at any given time. Martin, what do you watch out for when you go buy cigar online? And what do you watch out for when you buy cigars in-store?
Oh, man. I'm kind of stumped on that one. I really am. I guess when I buy cigars at a shop, what I look out for, repeat the question.
Wow.
Really.
Yeah. When you go to, when you buy a cigar, right, online, what do you watch out for? And when you buy a cigar in the store, what do you watch out for?
I mean, obviously, I don't want to pay more for a cigar online than I do.
No, two separate categories. Two separate categories. So, online is online, and you will not say anything that has to do with in-store. And in-store is in-store. You don't say anything with online.
Well, shit.
Oh, shit is right.
I don't know.
Really?
Fake cigars. Fake Cubans.
Right. What a mistake.
Wow.
What a mistake. What a mistake. We'll start with the Eric then.
In store, I usually, if it's crack, conditioning, and if it is, I try to buy cigar away from the humidity machine, because usually when it's like really close to the machine, spongy, wet, mold, white plume, whatever you want to call it, it's on that. You know what I mean? And usually I just inspect it for cracks. Like if it's the cigar, any part of it is cracked, because you don't want to pay for a cracked cigar, right? That's what I usually do. And online, I make sure it's a legit site. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get like one of these sites that like, whoa, bro. Like, should I buy from here or not? And yeah, that's how I do it. Yeah.
All right, that's legit. Okay.
All right.
Martin, do you want me to go back to you now? Are you ready?
No, I mean, that's kind of like the same shit that I look out for, like just mold and shit.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Rick, what about you?
For online, I look out for Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
If it's from Switzerland,
it's fake.
it is not Cuban. I never had that issue. I don't have that issue ever in my life. Don't buy anything from a Switzerland website and thought it was Bolivars and Montes, but got Fontes and Bolivis.
So for the people that are listening, Rick is that victim.
I am a victim. Again, Habo is the foundation I am starting. It's called Help a Brother Out. I fell victim to the Switzerland's pyramid scheme. So that's what I look out for the online aspect. For the in-store, same thing. Want to make sure when I enter the store, you can feel a little bit of humidity. Make sure the doors are actually closed. Their system is working properly. If I walk into a shop and all the cigars is out, their system is broken, or if they have like this door system, like some shops I go to, and all the doors are open or the doors don't close all the way, you might get dry cigars, cracked cigars, or if the people have cigars displayed underneath that mister, and you just see just little, just like how can I say it? Like sticks from like after rain. It's just damp and nasty and gooey, and I stay away from that.
Okay. All right. So let me go a little bit in detail of what I watch out for. Number one, because this is the U.S. and U.S. don't like you to molest the cigars. So, the
Damn it.
Yeah, see? The process is slightly different than what I do in Asia. In the U.S., once you get into the store, first thing I watch out for is whether or not the people over there actually know what they're talking about, right? Do they greet you? Do they know? That tells you whether or not they care about their cigars. And number two, you walk into the humidor, you smell. If that place is bad, you will smell it, right? You can smell it immediately, like that place smell moldy. And the moment that you smell it, it doesn't matter if the surface mold or not, that place is full of mold. Do not bring any of the cigar home from there. If you want to smoke it there, it's fine, but I wouldn't recommend it, right? And then you go look at the box of cigars, right? Are they nicely stocked, right? If they're not, this is what I look for, right? Inside the box, can I find loose crumbles of tobacco? If you find loose crumbles of tobacco, that means that there's a lot of cigar that already cracked in there somewhere, one time or another. Somebody probably squeezed it, damaging inventory, or just simply dry, right? And obviously, you gotta look at for the mist machine. Usually I will walk around the whole place one time, like the whole humidor one time, look at all the cigars before I start choosing what I want. Yep. So that one time look, you gotta go look at where is the closest to the mist machine or the humidity machine. And
sometimes you can't miss it though. Sometimes you can't miss it. It's like it's just blowing straight out.
Right. When it's on, you can see it coming out.
You can't miss it?
And once you get there, you want to see the cigar right under it, right? Whether or not. And I think one of the biggest sign of inconsistent humidity is a foggy or dusty cello. If it's dusty cello, that means they don't move that cigar a lot. They don't move that cigar a lot, and they have inconsistent humidity. It means sometimes dry, sometimes wet. Yep. Then you'll become really dusty. All right, you can see the cello. It's not yellow. It's not aged orange color. It's not wet, but it's dusty. And if you touch the surface, it's not on the surface. It's inside. And that cigar, it's gonna taste like ash. All right, everything's gone. It's dust. So that's the cigar you don't want to get. And if they have cigars like that, keep in mind all the other cigars may or may not be like that as well, right? And then obviously when I don't get to molest the cigar, the way I should, but when I pick it up, I'll give it a light squeeze. If it bounces back, then that's okay. But if I squeeze, it feels like SpongeBob, then you put it back down, right? And if you squeeze, you hear a crack, you walk out of that store. Okay. So that's usually what I watch for on the surface. And obviously, you got to watch out for the price too, right? You have a price in your mind, what cigar should cost a certain amount. Brick and mortar tend to add 10 to 15% to cover their costs. Anything more than that, you got to ask yourself whether or not it's worth it, right? You got to start thinking, maybe that's too much. I can look somewhere else. Where am I? You ask yourself, do I need to smoke this right now? Do I need to smoke this right now? And if there's any cigar that you want to buy a box of, brick and mortar is a good place to get one stick and say, I need to smoke this right now so I can choose it later, right? So you choose that one of those. And also you want to check out if the location, is it an open humidor? Meaning, is a humidor in the same location as people smoking? right? I don't want to mention a certain store. There are some store where you walk in, left side humidor, right side humidor, and people are smoking right in the center of it. I don't recommend you should get cigar there because there's contamination, whatever, smoke and all that stuff. It might not be the best choice. If they have a humidor, walk in with a door, it might be a little bit better. You know, I'm not saying that it's always gonna be bad, but you know, that tells you, right? So look for crumbs, look where the humidor is, whether or not people, you know, another thing is whether or not people follow you behind you after you walk into the humidor. If they walk behind you after you walk in the humidor, at least they pay attention. If nobody followed you at all, think about it twice. The people probably don't know a lot about a cigar, and they don't want you to ask them either, right? If they have a person that follows behind you, walking to the door, they can probably answer your question. They're more than welcome your question because they're there, right? If they don't, then yeah, the people might not know that much about cigars, right? And from there on, after you pay for it, you know, you decide to smoke it there or not. Also look at the cutter stations and stuff like that. Is it like self-service? Is it where they cut it for you and all that stuff? And you can tell whether or not that place is high-end by the way they cut your cigars. So I reckon contest to that. Once you see certain people cut your cigars, you're like, I'm in the right place.
Yep, you're like, yeah, this is it. But goddamn, the price is stupid. But damn, I love it.
I wouldn't want anybody to cut my cigar.
No, man, not this way. You have no idea.
Yeah. It's hard to,
Yeah, like
when
dude,
you see it, you know.
Before I didn't like it either. Until this one guy did it. I was like, yeah, you could cut my cigar again and again and again.
They don't even touch your cigar.
Yeah.
They don't even touch your cigar to cut your cigar. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Magic.
Man.
It's magic. It's magic. Okay.
When me and Tony saw that, it's just like, damn, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah. Why didn't we do that? Jeez, I feel such a rookie. You know,
yeah, dude. He made us look like a rookie for sure with cutting.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So that's in store. Online, I will usually pay attention to number one, price, availability, and where the store is located. Right? If they have a physical address to a US store, usually they're okay. Especially if they have phone number and stuff like that. Check the reviews, also what they have, and make sure that it's not overseas. If it's overseas, well, number one, like Rick said, if it's anything Hong Kong, Switzerland, those two places like the big no-no. Also, you'll find cigar shop that has cigars that just shouldn't exist. You knew that there's no such thing anymore. Like there's no way anybody can get their hands on it. Like, you know, Espinosa Red Band. If you go to a website and all of a sudden you find a whole entire box of Espinosa Red Band, just get out of there so quickly. Click X and just close that website. Because chances are they don't have it.
Maybe they do.
Well, that's the thing. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
You know, you might find some treasure out there, man. There's some treasure out there.
No. Well, you know, you probably get some quote unquote treasure. Yeah, if you want to do that, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't buy it. Like if I see something too good to be true, it's too good to be true to me, right? So buy cigar when you want to. And not fall for that kind of stuff is literally the best way, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the two things I watch out for. I watch out for online is reputations and what they have, inventory pricings. I always compare a few stores. You know, sometimes the difference is really just shipping, right? And some store have more stuff where you order enough where you don't have to pay shipping. So I'll load up my cart and I'll go to the other website, I'll load up the cart, whatever I want, and I'll compare the two, which one is more worth it, and then I'll do it because you're doing it online, so you don't really need to follow that per se. All right, so now that we already talked about the part where you go in there and you buy cigars, right? After you buy cigars home, what do you watch out for? So we separate this two, right? We separate between receiving it and bring your cigar home. Okay, separate that two categories. What do you watch out for right after that? You guys look very confused.
I mean, I'll usually let them sit, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, you already purchased it, okay? So one scenario is that you receive your cigar in a box. The other scenario is that you came home with a bag of cigar or whatever, a box of cigar, right? At that point, what do we should tell our listener what they should watch out for?
What? To me, if you buy from brick and mortar, you should already did your due diligence of inspection, right? But when you buy online, when the box shipped to you, see the box is damaged before you open the mail. And then, you know, if you think it's okay, open the mail, check your cigar box or your cigars if it's damaged. If it is, take a picture of it. Quick. Don't wait. Email the freaking place and stuff like that. Because shipping is sometimes very harsh, right? Some people don't care. They just throw your box all over the place. So that's my my thoughts on buying online for the box. But for brick and mortar, you did your inspection there. Everything should be fine. Just go home. You know, if you buy an already open box, I lied. Okay, if you already buy open box at the brick and mortar, you already know the cigar in there is good. But you buy a sealed box, make sure when you get home, your cigar is all right. Nothing is just out of place or crack or moldy or over humidify, or you can just leave your box out just to make sure you don't contaminate your other cigar as well. If anything wrong with your cigar that you bought.
Mm-hmm. I rarely keep a cigar that I bought like an entire box in the shop unopened when I get home. And that's the thing, like, you know, there's something that you want to collect and you don't want to open it. But if you plan to smoke it out, bring it home first thing, you should open it up. Yep, you should open it up and check it. Number one is check the condition of the cigars. Number two is to smell it, to see whether or not you need to air out that box. Sometimes you have to air it out.
Yeah, because that box, if it's like lacquer or something, boy, that thing gonna smell like paint.
Right? You gotta open it up, let it air out a little bit. Also check for, you know, mold or whatever while you're at it, and, you know, then leave the cigar to dry. And like you said, if you received it in the mail, that's a different story, right? First, check the box, make sure it's not damaged. If it's damaged, take a picture or take a video. Open the box, check all the inventory inside, inventory all the stuff that's in there supposedly, because if there's a hole on there, something might have fallen out, right?
Yeah. True.
And once you have that information, make sure everything's right, what you ordered, check all the boxes, open them up, and then you can move on to the next step, which is to store. You know, like, once you move it out the box, like the physical mailing box, you go to the same scenario as if you bring it from the shop. Same thing, open it up, air it if needed. If not, put it away, that kind of stuff. Inventory, right? So, Martin, do you have anything that you want to add to that step?
I mean, lately I've been buying a lot more cigars on in person. And, I mean, I do kind of sort of physically check them, but online stuff, it's just if they were provided with the Boveda pack, even if it didn't come with the Boveda pack, I would let them sit for about a week or two. Okay.
So you're at the next step, right? Letting your cigar rest, and depends on the humidity of that rest, you choose it differently. I personally like to, and some people shouldn't do this, I personally like to leave them out to dry them out.
I don't know, man. I see Tony just rip it right out of the box and smoke it.
Right, but for the rest of the cigar, I like if I buy from the shop a whole box and I open it up and checked it, I like to leave them out and let it dry. And you're like, Tony, why would you do that? That's stupid, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
I wanted to say this, okay? Regardless what it is, if it's in the shop, absorbing the humidity is absorbing everything in that humidor. And I want to have that moisture evaporate and leave that cigar, because I don't know what's there. You know, in fact, if somebody decides to be an ass, you know, before they close the shop every night, they go to the humidor and decide to, like, you know, let one out, let a big fat one go, just pollute the air. That is going to your cigar.
Yeah,
Tony, why do you put that in my head?
Just crop dust it.
No, I'm just saying, you know, it an example, right? That's an extreme example, right? You know, all the impurity, old stuff, wood,
even flavored,
or even like mineral water. Like they don't use mineral water; they use tap water, and tap water might have some flavor and stuff like that. They all need to get out, right? So I would let them air out and then reabsorb the moisture that I want in my own home, my own fart, you know, where it's supposed to be. That's what I like to do. So I even though I have enough humidity in my house, I will leave it out where it's really, really dry. I need a fan or something like that, and then I'll move it about five steps away, and then it'll be good.
Next time I go to the shop, I'm like, yo, do you fart in your humidor?
Well, then like I cannot confirm or deny. Yeah, what are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do about that? Right?
Well, you know, a friend put that image in my head, so I'm sorry, I need to walk out. Unless you confirm it.
Well, you never know, right? So there's a lot of things that could contaminate your cigars, right? And especially here. Another thing that we didn't talk about, if you walk into a shop, you see them put flavors in the same humidor as non-flavored, walk right out.
Yeah, walk right out. It's not worth it.
Yeah, walk right out. And you're like, oh, they're all fine. It doesn't smell like anything. Oh, you don't know. Why would you it's like taking chances. You don't have to. Like the fact that they do that already tells you that either, number one, that place is not sufficient. Number two, they don't have enough knowledge to take care of your cigar the correct way.
Yeah, they don't really care about it. Right? They're like, it's whatever.
Another thing is that even if it's not flavored, they put it in the same place as their pipe tobacco. Same thing.
Same thing. Yep.
Yeah. Your cigar will now be the new aromatic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So those are things that I watch out for. I bring it home. I let it dry out. I recondition the cigar. If the cigar, here's the thing. Usually, if I bought a brand new sealed box and I open it up, it's fine. It doesn't smell like lacquer. I can smoke that right away. I'm not gonna worry about it because there's multiple layer of, should I say, moisture resistance. Does that make sense? Okay. So when you buy a brand new box, it's wood. Outside of wood, there's a layer of plastic shrink wrap or whatever that is. That's outside, right? Yep. With that much thing wrapped in there, even if you put it under a freaking humidor, it's not gonna take any moisture in there. It's sealed.
Do they use plastic or they use cellophane?
It's not cellophane. It's just plastic. It's
just plastic
shrink wrap. So water is not gonna get in there, right? So even if they leave in the humidor, it's not gonna get more moisture. You take it out, it's the same amount of moisture.
Yeah, but the way they wrap it, like it does have like openings, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they fold it enough where it's not gonna be that much of a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's like one drip of leaking water a year kind of thing. You know, it's not a lot. So I can smoke that right away. I'm not gonna worry about it. But if it's like a box without that, then yeah, the wood is gonna take moisture and it's gonna pass it on to the inside. And that might change things. But if it's brand new sealed box, I'll leave it the way it is because the chance of that losing moisture that fast is so low, right? It's you can try this. Get after you unravel your box. Take that plastic wrap, just put water on it. See if you'll ever go through on the other side. You'll never go through on the other side.
No,
right?
But man,
it's never gonna go through.
Whoever buy a box of cigar and don't open it, I don't know how they have the urge to not open it.
All my Andalusian bowls are sealed.
Well, because you have 20 of them.
But they're sealed.
Like, if I have 20 of them, yeah. But, for average person to fucking buy a cigar box and not open it, that's insane. That's, you know what I mean?
I think I still have some. Oh, I still have that Alvo LE that's not open, sealed.
Yeah, but that's not your first bundle either.
Right, so I have.
I know you. I know you don't have a cigar that you don't. Or you only have one box, but it's sealed.
I only have one box of that right now.
No, you had that cigar. You had it. You have it. You smoked it. The one that you haven't smoked that is sealed. Like that's just crazy, right? That just. How you have the urge to not open that you haven't smoked yet?
I don't know. I never get to it, so I don't have to really, Some of the stuff I just want to collect, so I don't have to open it. And I know that I'll never get to it and don't open it. For example, when you get the punch egg roll, it comes in a bundle in that plastic wrapping, right? This bundle. I only opened it recently. I had it in the bundle of 20, just like that, the whole time.
Yeah, but you had Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, like that's the thing, I don't have to open it. I don't feel the urge to open it. Even the Lucy's, I haven't really been smoking. How often you see me smoke that?
Not a lot, but it's just the fact that you already have it and you smoked it. Then you have an extra one that just.
But the chances are, if I go to the shop, I bought a box, I probably bought a stick to smoke too.
Yeah, I know. We all do that. Well.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's. It's always going to be at that. So I will smoke it immediately because at that point, obviously it's good enough to smoke in the factory. And most likely it's gotta taste like the factory because they haven't absorbed anything yet. That first thing is probably gotta be good.
I don't know, man. Shipping from factory, there's some other thing that could absorb during that process.
But it's sealed.
Yeah, but
It's
how long has
it's sealed?
You know what I mean?
Sealed. It's sealed.
Nah, I still let it sit.
It's sealed. It's been sitting in wood box. The only thing that changed in there is actually the temperature.
Yeah, but like, don't they
But
ship?
if you bought it in the store, it's been sitting in their warehouse or it's been sitting in a humidor.
Yeah, but that's better than on a container.
Yeah, well, by the time you bought it, it's not on the container anymore.
Yeah, but it's freshly off the container.
None of them is going to be fresh off the container because off the container goes to...
Fresh off to the shipping truck, right?
Yeah,
to
the truck is in a box, a huge box with a lot of cigar. If you ever seen them delivery, it's a giant, 20 by 30 box.
Yeah, it's huge.
Of cigars, right? It's all, and all the other thing around it, everything that's going to absorb is all cigars.
Nope, I'm still letting that bitch sit. Nope, not doing it.
I don't know.
That's probably why. That's probably why where all the mineral and tasting metal coming from.
I wonder how the sewer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing. If you taste sewer water, chances are it's from that moisture, and then that's not. But that's not resting. It isn't gonna help because it's the moisture that's inside. You're not making it dry. You're making it more moisture.
I think someone drinks sewer water and fart.
Right? Like if you're saying that that's the flavor you tasted, letting it sit is not gonna help it because you're actually introducing more moisture from your humidor into it.
Well, just leave it out.
No,
Right?
see, but then that's the thing, Eric. Do you leave it out or you put it in your humidor?
Before I smoke my cigar, I do leave it out. So
Yeah. Okay. So before you smoke your cigar, you leave it out for how long?
weeks, sometime.
Okay. All right. So instead of absorbing what's in the humidor or the wood, it's gonna absorb your kitchen.
Well, no, I have a humidor that I don't use that have no humidity in there.
Right. So it's gonna absorb whatever that's.
Humidor is.
Yeah. It could be stale air too.
Man, I refresh my humidor. I open it.
Right? It's not on, right? So that means the air just settled there. That's just.
Well, it's not. It's not electric. It's just a wooden humidor that I use it for dry boxing.
Stale air. Stale air.
That I open every day.
Well, if you open it every day, it doesn't matter. It's just your kitchen, your living room, whatever your environment is.
Yeah, I'd rather smoke whatever my food is too, so it's good.
Hell yeah, stir-fry cigars.
Right, so like if you put it in that perspective, right, like cigar seems to be very fragile in a way that would be influenced by a lot of things. But yet,
I wouldn't say that they are
at the
very.
same time, it doesn't do it that fast.
No, it
doesn't do it that fast. Right? It takes a long time for that to absorb. Like even if I decided to put that cigar in an environment that has no other things but a cup of bourbon, it'll take 3 months before it tastes like bourbon.
It takes a while.
Yeah,
to a cigar to absorb anything. So.
It takes a long time. So I'm saying, for me, if I can't make that change that fast, it makes no difference. So you think that if you leave in your humidor for 2 weeks, it's gonna change anything? No, if it's not gonna absorb or release things that fast, it's not gonna change anything.
I would dry out. It would more dry than before.
Yeah, I like my cigar dry because you're burning some shit. You don't want it wet.
Yeah. What is that? What are those things?
What?
Huh?
What you burning? Don't want it wet?
Cigars. You're burning some shit. You don't want to be wet. Is there anything that you want to burn that you're gonna go? You know what? I'm gonna put this in the water so I can set fire on it.
Okay. Now I know what you mean. All right, because
do you just have a schizophrenic attack?
Like, is there anything that you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna burn this thing, so I'm gonna pour water on it.
Hey man, Arnold brushes stuff all day, so
yeah, he put alcohol on it.
Yeah, and he make it wet with alcohol.
No, it dries up really quickly. Have you done it? It dries up pretty quickly.
No, I know it dry up, but it's still soaked, right? It's still
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't recommend anybody do that anyway. If you want to do that, just take a sip of the bourbon or tequila that he was using.
Yeah. You always just take a sip and you'll be fine. Don't rub your alcohol all over the place on a cigar.
Because what if you the next step, like if you just decide to put it on there, what if that tastes bad? Now what? Like you just rub the entire thing with it. What if it tastes bad?
True.
Then you take a whole cup and you drink the whole thing, so make it taste good no matter what, because you're drunk.
No, not necessarily. Like maybe that cigar just doesn't fit that drink. Now you got a really bad cigar.
I think you should do that with the cigar that you know it go well, right? You don't just randomly.
To be honestly, why would you do that to a cigar that you know very well that is good?
No, that go well with that bourbon or tequila or whatever.
But then you already know that that cigar is good. Don't fuck it up.
You might enhance it. You know, you make it see angels. You know.
I had a friend. This reminds me of something. It broke my heart. It shattered my heart because I always wanted to try Partagas Lustinias because people talked about it. And that was quote unquote Michael Jordan's favorite cigar of all time when it comes to the Cuban market. And my friend got a whole box
from Switzerland.
No, it was not from Switzerland. It was from Sweden. But
I don't think that's
no. It was from Cuba. He has a friend that goes to Cuba a whole bunch of times a year. He has business over there, whatever. But,
it's a friend thing. It's a friend thing
yeah,
again.
It's the friend thing, quote unquote. He put 3 shots of rum inside the box. No, and inside the humidor with exactly. But he got the Lustinias. He broke the seal, opened the box, put the cigars in his humidor, and put 3 shots of like Bacardi Superior rum.
Yeah,
and had it
this is one of those things that's just because you can, you shouldn't. Right? I'll think of this way, Eric. What's your favorite food? What food? Like, what's your favorite food of choice for dinner?
Food?
Yeah.
I would like to have some steaks and fries.
Okay, so you like steak and fries.
Yeah.
And what would be your drink of choice?
Drink of choice would be water.
Water? All right, so steak and fries and water is your combo. That tastes good to you, right?
Yeah.
So would you order a steak and just say, give me a cup of water and just dump that entire cup of water onto the steak and eat it?
Well, no. Why would you do that?
It's your combo. You know, it's that, you know, those things pair well. You know, it's the steak
like apple
that pairs
bobbing
really well.
Instead of bobbing for apples, you're bobbing for steaks.
Right?
No,
it's the steak that pair well, right? And then I definitely can pour water on it and start chowing it down, right?
Like, the thing is, like, you guys already think that I eat my steak retarded. Imagine if I do that in front of you guys. You guys be like, what the hell?
Right? Like, let's say if you're like, oh, I like my duck confit, you know, and I pair it with just Diet Coke or Coke Zero. You wouldn't like, you know, get a can of Coke and just drench that thing into the duck. Say that, oh, that's the best combo. You know, you take a bite of the duck and then you wash it down with a Coke. Great. You wouldn't like, all right, I'm just gonna soak this thing in a bowl of Coke.
I mean, people cook with Coke, so.
Right, but you wouldn't do that.
Mixing it with...
You're not cooking it. You're mixing it. You know, that's what I'm saying. Just because it's a good combination doesn't mean you should put it together and then consume it as one.
And you never know. It might like boom. Oh my god! I found something new that I like.
Okay, Aaron. Next time when we go out to eat pho,
no, dude, you do not touch pho, man. You don't touch that recipe.
No. You gotta get a bottle of your whatever, 5 shots of coffee. You better dump in that shit and then start chowing down the pho.
That's not gonna happen, man.
Sounds illegal.
Right? You wouldn't. Just because that's your combination, that's a good pairing, it does not mean you put it together and consume as one. That's a dumb shit.
I mean, shout out to your friend Rick for doing all that. That's some brave stuff.
He does not get a shout out.
There's only got to be one scenario where you would do that, right? When the food you knew tastes like shit, you just wish this whole thing tastes like Coke.
Like, I will understand if you just take maybe 2 of that cigars and see how it would taste with the rum, not just open the box, immediately take all of it, throw it in a humidor, and put in the shots. Because what happens if you want to try the cigar just how it is? Or if you want to distribute it in a way, right?
You know, that should be illegal. Your friend should go, visit the New York subway and the stairway here and there.
And a homeless person should come like from behind and just, oh,
yeah, whoops.
Whoops.
Stairway to heaven. Stairway to heaven.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not meant to be. You know, you don't do that to your cigars, right? You want to store your cigar. You want to pay attention to it. You know, sort it, air out. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to put these things, mix them together because these things are great. They're good pairing. Let's all do that together. You know, who needs distilled water when I can literally put everything into the thing? Because I smoke with Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna put a whole tray of Dr. Pepper in there as humidifying. Everything's gonna taste like 56 different flavor.
Hey, that's probably that guy where he said he would taste like 27 flavor in his cigar.
Like, you wouldn't do that, right? You wouldn't do that once you put it in there. You wouldn't like, okay, you know, because it's good pairing. I'm just gonna do that to all my cigars, and that way, when I smoke my cigar, I don't even need a drink because now it tastes like just like it. It makes no sense.
But that's fine if you want those like bundle sticks, like the ones are like $2 or $3, you know, a stick. Typically, they just have your generic flavoring, wood, earth, whatever. If you want to enhance it, then yeah, get a whole bunch of bundles that probably cost you like $50, like 25 cigars. Infuse it. That's fine. But if you're going for something that's like more that already has flavor, then no, it's just legal. Just
Yeah,
this is why I wish I lived in like medieval times, because you know, beheadings.
Just go there and chop their head off.
Get the guillotine.
I now sentence you guilty.
Oh my God.
Right? One of the things we forgot to say, right, which happens so little, is when you open the box and you found that cigar has beetles.
That's heartbreaking. That's yeah.
Okay, so at that point, I will recommend you guys, or anybody who does that, who like you receive a box, don't feel like that's a whole box of cigar trashed. Okay, it's still savable. Take that box, put it in a Ziploc bag, shove it in your freezer. Just shove it right into the freezer. Make sure you have a Ziploc bag though, because you might eat other food. But shove it in the Ziploc bag, double zipper, put it in the freezer, and let it freeze for a week. All right, and then put it out, let it slowly just defrost. I prefer that, you know, take it out during the winter time and just leave it in your garage. You'll slowly kind of defrost. Once you take it out, now you can take individual cigar, inspect the holes, and then basically put a little bit of cigar glue onto it. You will seal the hole, and you'll still be able to smoke it. So that's one of the things I think we never talked about before, is when you inspect your cigars.
I don't think I would want to do that.
Why?
The beetle is gone already, tell the truth.
Well, the beetles are gone, but you're still leaving like whatever the beetle had. I don't know. Like if you had an infestation,
you do know that even without that, you're still smoking that beetle, right?
I know that, but you're smoking like their dung and shit.
Their dung is your tobacco. You do know that, right?
I don't know.
Flavor, protein.
In fact, you should feel lucky now. You're smoking less beetles and nicely fermented tobacco, just like those fermented coffee.
Oh God.
Oh, you talking about that coffee that come out freaking?
lemur.
Yeah, it's fermented. It's digested. It's nicely. The beetle only eats your cigar. There's nothing else to eat, so it can only be the dung is only gonna be tobacco.
Wow.
And how do you know there was no tobacco dung to start with without the bee?
You ever had a cigar that tastes like manure?
Oh God.
Barnyard manure. Yeah. No. You know, it's inevitable, right? If you're in a factory, something is something there, okay? There's always gonna be something in there, right? The fact that there's beetle coming out, that means that's one less beetle in there that you had to smoke. So
I never experienced that. I want to see, like, I don't know. I want to experience it, but I don't at the same time.
No,
it just
I
makes the cigar, when you smoke it, you'll hear a whistle. It'll be a very loose draw, you'll hear a whistle.
No, yeah, like, no, I mean experience like beetles that hatch from my humidor.
You'll never see it. By the time you see it, like if you see it,
my humidor is gone.
Tiny. It looks like a dot. It looks like a dot, just moves around.
Yeah,
right?
So I'd be like, I want to pick up a cigar. I'm like, oh crap, look at that. What is that?
But that's the thing. If you see one, you're most likely there's like 10 already hatched.
There's already,
right. Yeah, that's freeze them, kill them. right? Freeze them and kill them. Seal up the hole. You can still smoke it. Now, dust off those dead bodies and smoke it in celebration. You have all been murdered.
Oh God!
By my frosty magic of electricity.
Bernie aspect.
Right? So, you have to, and then after that, it's like, you shall be burned. Right? Froze, burn.
Yeah.
You can still smoke it. I don't think anybody should just trash the entire box of cigar just because a beetle hatched, because chances are either in the factory, they still have beetles. Because that's before their flash freeze phrases. Yep. And that place is hot. I mean, we just look at DR temperatures, they're in 90s.
Are they, bro?
Yeah.
God, shit.
All I can tell you, in DR, if it's 80, it's 115. Humidity. If it's 90, if it was 90 degrees, it's close to 120.
And he wants me to wear a suit. No way.
You would die. Because remember, before we went to Miami, I was there for a whole week, and I was dying.
But Miami was like summer, so
yeah. But Miami was maintainable. DR was 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, but you're talking about summer. I'm going over there during the spring.
Oh, yeah, but I guess.
Hopefully a little bit dry,
You're close to the hemisphere.
I need Tony to look sharp, look very sharp.
I look sharp without it,
bro. No.
Don't tell me no.
I want you look like a mafia gangster, boy.
No, I'm gonna be sharp.
He's gonna be sharp like Cheddar. He's gonna be melting.
Yeah, I'm so sharp. You touch me, you bleed.
Oh God.
Okay,
that's back then, Tony. Your jawline is not like that no more.
Oh my God. Well, here we talked about buying cigars. How about buying a cutter?
Buy a cutter.
Yeah, what do you look for? Like, what do you watch out for when you buy a cutter?
Chip blade, bent blade, and like when you open it, close it. You know what I mean? Is it smooth?
Any resistance?
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I recommend people to do is when you buy a cutter, buy in person.
Yeah,
buy in person.
Play with it.
Play with it a little bit. Yeah. Tell them to get you a thing that you play. Whatever one that you tested that's good for you, don't ask for another one. Just use that one. Whatever one that you tested that you are satisfied with, buy that one. Don't ask for another one because they're hand assembled, right? They're not always perfect. So when you find the one that's perfect, keep that one. Right? Mm-hmm. Lighter the same way. If you can, buy in person, test it out, play with it a few times, see if it stops lighting or has any clicking problem. Shake it a little bit to see if it makes weird noises and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of them has warranty, but going through the warranty process sucks. Okay, there are a few that allows you to exchange, no question asked. That's fine, but there are some of them that makes you ship it back.
And they're like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it."
No. Once they ship it back, they'll give you another one because they're gonna ship you one anyway. So, whatever. But it wouldn't be the same. Especially, let's say, if you got like a limited edition Opus X one.
Oh,
you
God.
ship that one back, you might not get the same one back.
That's what I'm saying. I would be so mad.
Right. So make sure you test it. Make sure you like it before you bring it home. I think that's one of the things that you watch out for, right? So everything that you buy. You watch for that. Like humidor. When you buy a humidor, you test the seal right there. Like if you open the cap, the cap, and just let go.
Let it go. Yep. Drop it.
If it drops like bang, you just like next.
Go away. Get away from me.
Yeah. If you pull the cap open here, you're like, oh, and then you drop it, it goes kind of, and then slowly it closes away. Yeah. And you're like, whoo? And then you're like, okay, that's a good seal. That's good, right?
That's good.
But if you open a cap and you drop it, it just go clunk. You're like, that's not the one you want.
You don't want to grab that.
Yeah. And I will say, if you really want to get a humidor, don't get the one with a glass top.
Yeah, don't do that.
I know it looks sexy.
It does.
But the real good ones, they will never make it see-through.
Yep. Because there's too many leakage. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not only leakage, right? The cigar that you put it where the glass is, it's got to fade.
Yeah, temperature, sun, whatever you put it. Yeah. Usually you shouldn't put it in the sun anyway, but
Oh no, the regular daylight will fade it. They'll fade it, right? And they'll stain and whatever.
Yeah.
It's not the best choice. I mean, I know you want to look at a cigar, just open it up and look at it. I know that you want to see through. That's very sexy. It's not. It's not really. If you go out there and you find a cigar like humidor that's like $2,000, $3,000, they will never put an opening on top.
No, they would never do that. Everything had to be sealed. Everything had to be nice.
Yeah. It's sealed, it's solid layers of the thing. They keep temperature better too. When you in the glass, temperature leaks through.
Yep. It
so
fluctuates.
The whole thing is wood. It's solid wood. It's gonna and when it's solid, it's all wood. Then the entire thing is maybe cedar wood. Some of the humidor are not made out of cedar wood. They're
just laminate.
Laminate with the inside. There's a little sheets of cedar tape, tape on there.
We can't a lot, dude. A lot of cheap people look at like, oh, it's a $30 humidor, oh, $50 humidor. Boy, that ain't it. That's not all cedar.
Yeah, Spanish cedar is not cheap. So if you find one that's like $30, $40, it might not be what you want. I can buy a tray that'll cost me $20. A tray that's made, cedar tray that you put in a humidor. Yep. That's like $20, $30 already. So imagine you try to go buy a humidor that's $20, $30. That's not going to be cedar wood.
You get thin layer, but you don't get the full thing.
Yeah, but it's not the real thing. It's not going to keep. Yeah, they're just like cardboards that cut out, and they're not really.
That's your cedar.
No, they look like like those thin cedar. When you buy a box of cigar. It's like that. Yeah, like the thin cedar sleeve that you get from buying a box of cigars. Sometimes they give you like a layer of cedar. That's what it is, just on top of just random wood.
Yep. Yeah, they just laminate or tape it over, and they're not gonna hold your humidity that well. It's not gonna absorb the water or release the water the way it should be. You are actually just buying a box. You might as well keep the factory cigar box because they are actually what it is.
Yep, they're actually cedar.
Right, so. And one of those things I advise other people not to buy, and this might be weird because they're one of the most convenient things ever, is those acrylic humidors.
Oh, don't get me started with that acrylic humidor. I don't like those things. Why is your humidor fully clear? Does that make sense?
My problem with that, number one, they're not cheap. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
For acrylic. One of those things that people buy and just throw, to make on walls and shit. They should be cheap, right? No, one of those acrylic humidor can cost you $60 to $100.
Yeah, it costs you
even more expensive than the wood one, right? And I don't see what's the point of that. It doesn't absorb water. It doesn't release water.
It doesn't do what a humidor should do.
Yeah, it's hard on your cigar. So, like, if you leave your cigar in a certain position for long enough, it's got to be a box press.
Or, dude, like a year or two later, you go back to it, you're like, oh, it's kind of yellow, no?
Right, and then it's not gonna age your cigars.
Yeah, what is it gonna age it with? Plastic, acrylic?
No, acrylic has no smell, so that doesn't have any taste.
Yeah, but
doesn't have anything.
There's no point of that. Dude, when I first saw that when they first came out, I was like, "There's no way these freaking idiots doing this right now. Like, this is crazy."
They say that's the best thing. That's not. Like, when you go to a cigar shop and you see they have cigars in this huge acrylic thing with the trays in it, they just put the cigars in there, like 100 stick in there.
Yeah.
Just stack on top of each other with dividers. Those are the cheapest cigars they carry.
They are. Right. They are really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They are not good cigars. That's for a reason. I mean, that's not meant to be carrying good cigars. You got to ruin your cigars. Even when you get those acrylic tub, like a canister, they put like a sheet, like the size of my palm,
on the bottom
of cedar on there.
Yeah.
That's gonna do what? What is that gonna do,
dude? So to me, it went, the acrylic humidor went so bad that they're like, oh, now we made the one that you could put a cedar tray inside of it. Like, what the? just whoop my ass, man. Shit.
Like, why would I pay more for plastic outer when I can pay a regular one that's already cedar? Right? It makes no sense. And not to criticize any brand, but Boveda out of everybody, Boveda making a critic too. Should you make humidifying system you don't know anything about? You should be humidifying your cigars with wood.
Right.
I have nothing to say.
Those are the things that I think the listeners or consumers should know about, right? Like, because when they see new stuff, you want to buy them. I think 99% of us at one time buy one of those, digital wireless humidimeter, all that stuff to monitor. One of us, and we all bought one of those small, cheap humidor to put stuff in there. All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But when you really think about it, now that you have cigar for a while, you're like, that's such a waste of money. The number one, those wireless humidimeter thing, hygrometer, it's got to drive you insane. You got to check it every 2 hours.
I'm checking it all the time.
I don't. Dude, when I used to have it,
Go V's.
I don't have it no more. But I used to have it. I really don't check it. I don't freak out if it loses like fucking 5, 6, 7%. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Just I was never like that, so I don't know. Plus,
you know what I use it for? I set the hygrometer to alert me when it's 100%. Reason being because my cigar's in my basement. If it flooded, I would know. That's the only reason I have it, because I know it's gonna be 60 to 70% in my basement. But if it goes to 100%, water is dripping somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I use it for. I don't pay that much attention. I just let the alarm tell me that my place is flooded.
can we talk about one more tool that I don't think consumers should really put the thoughts and money into it?
Please don't tell me it's that probe.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Man, I'm so sorry, people. Stop poking your cigars, bro. Stop doing it. Man.
Some people will probe it and they'll take it out and probe it at a different angle.
It's like, like once you probe in the cap and the foot and the side, like, what bro, what's that? You're not going to smoke it? Are you going to smoke it? And then, like, sometimes you poke it through the cap and it's like, it just split your whole wrapper. And I'm like, yeah, good job, guys. Good job, right?
Right? Because once you poke it, it gives pressure and pushes the wrapper. It cracks the wrapper, right? It cracks the wrapper, and I don't see a meaning of knowing it, because let's say if you plug it in, it's 40. That means all your cigars are 40 right now because you put it in the same place, right? So your problem is not, I'm not gonna smoke this cigar, I'm gonna smoke another one. Your problem is that your entire humidor is low. I think you can tell when your cigar is too dry.
Yeah. Yes, your hands, your feel, your senses. Use it, man. There's a reason why we have it. Like,
pick a spot in the foot and just press it down. I mean, if the foot cracks a little bit, it's okay, right? You know what I'm saying? Just press in the foot, and you'll know whether or not it's good, right? You don't have to probe it, because if you probe it, you introduce pressure, that might crack it anyway.
Yeah,
right? So you don't need to test that. I mean, knowing that number isn't going to help you, because, again, we talked about this before. The humidity is based on temperature. And that thing only gives you humidity. It doesn't give you temperature. So that cigar might be any temperature, and you plug it in, it's one number. I swear to God, if you want to try this, okay? You take your cigar, you plug it in. It's got to be one number. You're holding your hand until the cigar's warmed up, and plug in again. It's different. This is completely different number.
You know what's funny, too? I see people plug it in. They're like, oh, it's not low enough. So they squeeze it. They're like, oh, now it's going down, or they're going up. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? It just messed with me with it. I don't know. That's the weirdest tool to really waste your money on. I know it's not expensive, but man, that could go towards a cigar. I'm just saying.
True. And especially if you plug it into a box press, it's not going to be as accurate. So what that does is when you plug the two prong in there, and most of them are two prongs. There are some single prongs, but the two prongs in there, what happens is the two prong is measuring the amount of electricity between the two difference. That difference, the deviation, once they shoot a minor amount of electricity, it measures that pressure, it measures that electricity difference. When you plug it into a loose leaf, now there's air and everything, it's gonna screw up the number.
It just Yeah, people. I know some people uses it and love it and stand by it or whatever, but man.
But if you go back to that, like the main point is, if it's too low, are you not gonna smoke it?
That's the thing, right? It's too high, or you might not. No,
you can tell it's too high. You can tell when it's too high. On your hand, the thing is talking SpongeBob and the SquarePants.
That's what I mean, dude. Just use your hand, use your senses, man. That's all you need. Your whole body, you can tell by the cigar.
Like you can't tell when your cigar is like, you squeeze and freaking like a jet string of water just shoots out of the end.
Yeah, if you squeeze your cigar, all you hear is
yeah.
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Right? You get it out, you squeeze it like Neo, and there's your drink. No, stop smoking that thing, right? But the thing is that if you put all your cigar in one place and one cigar comes out to be 90, the rest of your cigar is 90.
No, the other one might be different, bro. What are you talking about?
No cigar left behind. One of them was gonna be 89.
I'm gonna prong all of them.
Right, you're not gonna do anything to it. I mean, the fluctuation of the temperature, the fluctuation of like ambient humidity, whether or not that that prong is calibrated, and whether or not your body is wet, it's all gonna change that. Like I don't know what you did with your hands before, and didn't wash your hand. Well, wash your hand. You touch your cigar, and now your cigar's humidified.
Even if you wash your hand, don't dry your hand. It's just humidified. It's water.
Yeah. Right? It's like, why would you like that? That shouldn't matter. I think that's so gimmicky. Whoever invented that and decided to sell it
is a genius. I'm telling you.
Dude, you're just prying in people's insecurity.
Oh man, that's a good way to put it.
Right? You're like, I think they want to know. And they're going to be like, every single cigar, is this the right humidity to smoke it? In fact, I don't even think there's a standard of what humidity you should smoke your cigars at.
To be honest, there isn't, right? It's all on preference of what you like, how you like to smoke it. And just don't go crazy with it. Like, just, you know what I mean? As long as your cigar is not like 72 to 80 to like 90, 100, you should be fine. Literally, you should be fine.
Yeah. If your cigar feels fine on your hands, it feels normal on your hand, it feels like a cigar, it's not, you can tell when it's abnormal or something's not right about it.
Yep. When you pick it up, when you pick it up, you're like, whoa.
And let's be honest, too dry, you still can smoke it. Too wet, you can still smoke it.
Yep. It just take a few, like 1,000 relight, but you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
That happened to us, Martin. Remember Miami?
Right? Even if your cigar is perfect humidity and the ambient is super wet, like in the rain, you're still gonna have a hard time. What you gotta do? Probe the freaking air?
Start taking that thing, just put it in air. Yo, what?
Uncap it. You're like, air, here, give me your ass, and just pluck on the air. And there's like,
you want a cigar? Sure. Just wait. One second.
Right? You gotta
let's smoke.
Right? You gotta make sure you squeeze a certain distance of air in your hand.
Catch the air, bro.
Catch the air and just go
right? You need to plug it in there. Okay, ambient temperature, ambient humidity is good. I'm gonna smoke. You're not gonna do all that. So what is the point to know all that?
Maybe it just. I guess people just have ritual, and that's just one of it, right? You know,
it makes no sense
to know the nuance.
But then that wasn't even part of a ritual. You just made a cigar smoking experience to a rocket science experience. Like you need a scientist, and mathematician, and biologist right next to you. Like I think that number is about right. Hold on. I mean, the air is, southwest air, and then ambient. Let's check out the meteorologist. Meteorologist, what you think? I think today is cloudy, a little bit this. You might want to crank up your heat by 20% and turn the fire up by 15%, and then light it in a 15-degree angle. What do you think, rocket scientist? I think you should definitely add a little bit of rocket fuel to that. I think that will disperse some of the humidity around the cigar once you light it up. And then we need to have one of those air silicone around the guy so that he can start smoking without the deviation of the temperature, because I think it's going to raise by 2% in the next 5 minutes. That will be a big problem. What do you think about that, biologist? The biologist is like, oh, based on his health condition today and his mood today, I think that he need to first do an exercise about 15 minutes to raise his body temperature to the specific temperature and raise his heartbeat by 40% so that he can totally enjoy this. You're not going to do that. What the fuck?
Nope. I cannot smoke cigars without Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That is Tony to extreme.
You know, see what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to do all that. What is that data got to do for you? Okay, you're gonna say, okay, that data makes me happy and stuff like that. But there is no control. That data doesn't do anything.
I don't know how people smoke cigars before that came out. Just saying, I don't know how that happened.
I'm gonna tell you, they take out the cigar, rip the cap off, light it up, and say "fuck you." That's how they smoked it.
They lick their fingers. They check for drafts. Like, okay. Wait, one more time. Okay, the wind direction is left.
I don't even think that's what they check. They lick their finger and they look around. My wife is not here. Okay, light it up.
Yep.
Oh man.
Right? Like, that's so like. I understand some people like to do that, but from the third person point of view, you see how dumb that sounds, right? Right? I understand that it's a niche thing. Is some people like that, it's just like some people like other ways around. Some people don't care. Yeah, I understand it, but just think about it this way: you just wasted a good $60 cigars.
Yep.
To know a number that absolutely does nothing for you.
And we are not, because we're saying this not because we're hating. All right, there's no hate in this at all. We don't care about a stupid tool. We would never use it.
By the way, I have one of those kitchen meter that tells you humidity.
Yep.
I just plugged that into my cigar and look at the number. I throw the freaking thing away. Like, I'm not gonna know anything about that. Like, I'm never gonna plug it into a meat, try to figure out what's the humidity. You freaking get a paper towel, dry it up, and then put it in the fryer and just fry it.
Yep.
So
that's just a whole.
What you will not do to your food, you shouldn't do to your cigars.
Yeah, treat it well, man. It's a luxury item. Treat it the way it should be treated, man. Like,
right?
I agree.
It should be simple. The correct amount of moisture that you can see in person, correct amount of heat to either sear or light your cigars, and that's all you needed. Don't make it so complicated, right?
Yep.
Don't waste your money on things that you don't need. Watch out what you buy, where you bought it. Make sure the things that you bought are of good quality, and smoke it. That's all you need to do.
Make it simple, man. It's a simple thing. It's a luxury thing. It's just an enjoyment thing. Don't overcomplicate it.
Right. And I would say that, how do I put this in the nicest way possible?
Why nice? I want it, Tony. Give it to me.
I think the nicest way possible is don't buy into the hype. Right? That's the nicest way possible. Before you buy it, watch other people do it, and don't put yourself as that person. Put yourself like, if you saw somebody in the cigar shop doing that, would you pay the same amount of money to be that person?
Right.
So, right, something might like, somebody had a ST DuPont ping. I want to be that person. Looks nice. Okay, fine. You can spend money on that. But if you like, that guy took a cigar and prayed to it, give it a kiss, offered it a ring, to death shall we be apart, and then light it up, and then took off that ring, and it turns out that ring was a humidity tester or something like that. Right? And then light it up, and he's happy with the number, he smoked it. And you just ask yourself, do you want to be that person?
Like, to be honest, if I ever see a person that I know, that's my friend, and go to a lounge and start pronging his cigar, I would just look at him. You're not gonna smoke that? Are you gonna smoke that? Like, we're not lighting it up.
Looks like 76%. Give that to me, and then I'll smoke it for you. Right? Just ask yourself if you want to be that person, right? If you go to a cigar lounge, somebody decides to light up their cigar. He lights up your cigar and puts out that Apple Vision. You're like, do I want to be that person? No, I don't. Don't spend your money on the Apple Vision, right?
Hey, I'm buying Version 2. Okay.
All right? Or like you go to a lounge, see somebody put a Samsung ring on their hand, and then they test their heartbeat and everything before they light a cigar. Do you want to be that person? Probably not. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Right? So some people's gonna say it's fun, so that's why they bought it, whatever. That's totally fine. I'm just saying, even for fun, it looks crazy to do it.
It looked ridiculous. It looked ridiculous to see people do it. Just, I don't know.
To know the actual humidity of the cigar before you smoke it is the same thing as if I try to find out the total amount of sodium inside a raw steak before I eat it.
That's not gonna happen. I'm eating a steak.
Yeah, I would too.
No, like you would never try to find that out, right? You'll be like, oh, let me find the carbon amount of this, burn ends before I eat it.
Nope, that burn end is good. I'm eating it.
Right. You wouldn't care, right? You're like, this vegetable I'm cooking looks very green. Let me find out how many % of green this is and what shade this green is before I eat it.
Oh God, dude, there's some people like that out there, man.
And they bring out their limit testers and stuff like that, test like 15 different specs, and then get out their, color chart, and then just matches like this thing is exactly 15 days old.
This is F000783. Nah, I can only smoke it when it's 784.
And they were like, okay, now let me get a drip of brilliant green and drip on it, food coloring, and now it's perfect coloring. I'm gonna eat it. Right? You wouldn't do that,
Maybe I'll watch an episode of Bob Ross, and when I get that color, I'll smoke it.
It's all fun. There's no mistakes. There's only beautiful, great mistake, beautiful mistakes.
Oh my God!
Right? You're not gonna do all that. So why would you do that to your cigar? You're actually damaging your cigar by doing that.
I see so many videos. They're like, "Oh, my cap just broke because I stuck this thing in there."
Right.
It's like, I was like, "You freaking! Like, what the hell was that about?" Like,
and here's the thing, right? If you gotta measure the humidity on your cap, are you gonna measure your saliva too?
It's like before I smoke.
Yeah, the moment you're stuck on that thing, your saliva is on that. Now it's not 70% anymore. The moment that you take a breath on it, it's like 71.
Yep. Let me just measure the humidity in my mouth. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 99%, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Man. You are going to introduce more moisture to it. Why would you have to test it? You guys have that before, right? Where you're smoking normal cigar and the cigar just get more soggy and has a sap collected at the end and stuff like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You are introducing more moisture in there. In fact, if the ambient temperature is not the ambient temperature, ambient humidity is high, by smoking it, you're heating up your cigar. You're actually gonna introduce water into your cigar.
Yeah, and I like one that the smoke from the cigar is vapor. Like when it travel, it get wet through your cigars. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that.
Yeah, it's got water. It's got air. Moisture, it's got oil, smoke, it's got all kind of other things that tickles your banana, and then you're smoking it. It's not this. Once you smoke it, everything's out of control. You have no control in it. In fact, you can plug it in, and there might be a stem in there that's full of water, and you don't even know.
Yo, I can't wait for the day that people are smoking a cigar. They're like, "Oh, let me check my humidity." They're like, "Oh no!" Like halfway through, they're like, "Oh, the cigar is no good no more. It's like 100% humidity."
I think that's what we should do. Like next time we see somebody doing that, I'm gonna about to light up my cigar. I'll be like, "Eric, what is the ambient temperature?"
Rick, hold on.
What do you think?
I feel like the molecules in the atmosphere determines you can't smoke it right now.
And then go over to Martin. What's your heartbeat right now? What's your body temperature? And then Martin will be like, what's my body temperature have to do with you smoking? Well, you're introducing ambient temperature, okay? What's your body temperature?
You're making it hot right now, all right? You need to cool down, boy.
Right?
What's your BPM?
Before we all let it up, we'll be the first one to get kicked out so fast.
And start asking the most random shit. What's your BMI?
Right? My BMI is fat, okay?
Shit.
Oh,
man.
Wow.
Your glucose levels.
Right? Or glucose level, check the meter. You know, get one of those things, get a drip of blood and test it. Oh, I think we're good. I think we can smoke it now. Oh, no, it's a little bit low. Let me get a lollipop. Hold on.
the thing you wrap around your arm is
the blood pressure.
Blood pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
also
shit.
check. Am I balding? No, I'm not balding today. Okay. Oh, good. Good.
Oh
And,
my
you know,
god.
Last and not least, your wife is not around. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's the last thing. Yeah.
That
Gotta link
too.
your finger again. It's like, what? Yeah. No, my wife's not here. Okay, let's light it up. Right? You know, I mean, it might sound extreme. Well, obviously, this is the extreme version of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll just try to be here to tell you what to watch for. Like when you buy something, like to buy a cigar, what to watch for. Buying swag or equipment that you use to smoke your cigar, what to watch for, right? You know, you can watch for that. You don't have to. If you got plenty of bling bling, you know, just use your ling lings, right? Just go out there and buy them. All right, that's fine. But if you don't have a lot of dough, don't buy the bread, right? So,
Hey, why not buy the bread, man? Bread fill you a long time.
what?
You try to buy the bread, man. Damn.
But you ain't got the dough. No dough, no bread, bro.
As you're getting bread, I'm getting yen.
What? What?
Wow. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. How dare you? Anyway, so yeah, I just want, I hope this episode's, funny things aside, right, has introduced some information about people's choice before they buy stuff. And I think a lot of consumers are price and budget conscious. And being budget conscious also means get the best what you can to get what you're paying for. Best bang for the buck, right? I mean, obviously, a box of cigar is a box of cigar. Everywhere you buy is a box of cigar. But why not buy the best box of cigar that your money can buy for the same cigar, right? Why not buy the best cutter, even though it's the same cutter, the best one in the bunch that you have the option to buy when you buy it? You know, order from the places that you trust the most, that will take care of you, that, you know, will send things in a proper, nicely packed way to you. Right. Also, based on what you receive, also tells you how they store their cigars. You know, why not that? And why not having to buy the stuff that's just purely hype, right? You know that a lot of people is gonna tell you that. You know every store is gonna advertise that because that's how they make money, right? They gotta sell it to make money. So, but you ask yourself, is an acrylic humidor really worth $100? Because that sheet of acrylic is $6 a panel.
Even though it's $6, it's not worth it.
No, $6 a panel. So you got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. That's $36 at best. Get your own. Just go get the panels, glue them up. $36. You got an acrylic humidor.
Just go get cedar tray, man. It'd be better.
Right. But the thing is that you can already use what you have, and we already have an episode about buying the humidor and stuff like that. Don't buy it until you get a certain amount.
Yep.
You don't need that. That's $100 that can go towards your $1,000 humidor, and you'll thank us when you rather buy you spend all that money to get $1,000 humidor than having 10 $100 humidors.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the $1,000 humidor is gonna be real cedar
Way
too.
better. Way better. $1,000 humidor is gonna be way better, and you didn't have to have 10 different boxes that you don't even know how to sort them.
Just like Tony, he have hundreds of boxes behind him.
Yeah, I don't know even what to do with it. So we made that mistake, so they don't have to. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. The things that we do, this is from our experience, what we learn from our mistake, and just letting you guys know.
Right. This is why we have multiple panels that we talk about this, when everybody throwing their little bit of their opinions, because not one person can cover everything, right? Sometimes I didn't make that mistake, so I don't know, right? But we all know to not get that probe. All right, we all know no cigar deserves to get their ass probed
at all, man. That's just sad, right? Just imagine, dude. Okay, I'm telling you, if you have a Corona cigar that costs $100 and you probe and that thing just split, like, you think about that. Like, you just look at yourself like, what the hell? You just piss at your own self. It's like you take a piss on your own leg. It makes no sense, you know? Like,
yeah, you don't want to ruin that, right? So that wouldn't make sense to kind of ruin that experience. To know some stupid number that's not going to increase the experience, that you might have damaged your experience.
That you're not going to put the cigar down once you pick it up.
Yeah, you still got to smoke it. You still got to smoke it. You probe it, you molest it, you still got to smoke it. But not only that, you got to smoke it. Now that cigar is not going to be happy because it's just got its ass probed.
Yep.
It's a victim now.
It's a victim now. Me Too movement. Okay.
We should do that for cigars.
20 years later. A lawsuit 20 years later, the cigar is a plaintiff. You know?
Oh, man.
Who's suing today? My name is my father.
Oh, man.
My name is Don Pepe Garcia. I'm the original. In blue.
You can call me Dunhill.
My name is Davidoff. Signature. Got my ass probed 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
Right? So, yeah. Without that aside, I hope everybody liked that information. The way we chat is hard to put things in a very structured way because it's just genuine reaction to what we're talking about. So hopefully that brings enough information, yet it's funny to you guys at the same time. It won't be funny to whoever bought those things, but
But to be honest, though, we don't give a damn what you do to your cigars, man. We don't.
Yeah. Do whatever, it's your money. It's just I think this information is for people who haven't done it, right? That keep that money, $60. That could be a good bundle cigar, 5-pack, whatever. And enjoy that.
It could be a great cigar, man. So $60, it could be a great cigar.
Yeah,
just don't do it around us because we will point and laugh.
By the way, last episode we talked about OCD. He listened to it. He was like, "Damn, you guys talking about listen to me on my bedtime."
And you know what? After he listened to this, he's like, he can throw his pocket away. he can straight up throw that thing in the trash. He's like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, oh my god! All right, hey, Johnny, we love you.
Yeah, we do.
Throw that damn thing away. All right. So that will be it for this particular episode. I hope you like it. If you listen to this through YouTube, make sure to leave some comments and what you think and what's your opinion on it. Share your thoughts. Okay. So we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.
See you.
Peace.
You've been listening to the In the Shadows podcast. There's nothing like a fine cigar. And that's our passion. And on the show, we'll talk about everything and anything cigars. And you know what happens when you get a bunch of guys together smoking cigars. The conversations go on. And that is what this show is all about. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. Remember, everything you need is on YouTube at Soy Sauce Assassin. The live show is every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And get cigar reviews. Wishing you long ashes. We'll see you next time on In the Shadows podcast.